my shop. I'm Mike Hedden, and this is Round 2 Woodworks. For those people that normally stop by to see what's happening in the wood shop, this next few videos are going to be a little different than wood shop. Let me explain. You know, when I was born in the High Sierras, a little east of Fresno, California, a place called Shaver Lake. Well, actually, Big Creek. My father worked for Southern California Edison, and that was their hydroelectric project, which is quite a wonderful place if you haven't been there. But you know, when I was 8 years old, I think, or 9 years old, like 58 or 59, my father took me camping in the backcountry. We stayed at a Florence Lake at a place called Jackass Meadows, and you know, we had a square umbrella tent with a square bottom with a pole in the center, and the tarp opened up so you could walk in and out. You know, for anybody over 50, they probably remember those tents. But when we were camping, I thought that was the greatest thing that could be. You know, we went hunting and we went fishing, and we were just having a good time. And I remember we're somewhere in the John Muir Wilderness near a creek, and I hear this, "Hey, Larry!" That's my father's name. And he turns around and says, "Hey, Grandma, how are you?" And this lady rides up on a horse with 2 pack mules, and my dad knew her, and she was retired and everything. And you know, here's this lady out in, I mean, back then that was backcountry. I mean, very few people got back there, and this lady's on a horse, and you know, she's like living out there. And I go, "Oh, you know, what's going on here?" And she says, "Well, I come out here every summer, spend the whole summer out here with my horses and my mules, and just travel where I want when I want." I said, "I want to be that lady, that's for sure." So, you know, from then on out, I loved to camp. And when I was in my teens, my father got a promotion as a foreman to go down to Ventura, California, moving out of the mountains. And I'm thinking, geez, Dad, you're taking hunting away from me, fishing away from me, snow skiing away from me, hiking away from me, camping away from me. Come on, Dad, why don't you just shoot me and get it over with? You've just ended my life. I mean, what do you do in Ventura? Well, to my surprise, we moved down to Ventura, and that was the time of the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys were just coming in. I'm telling you, there was no place better to live than Ventura, California, when the Beach Boys and surfing thing was going on. So I traded my snow skis for a surfboard, and I was happy as a clam. But I still like to backpack, and I did a lot of backpacking up to about 75. Then I got married, and there's been 3 women in my life, and the first woman, she hated anything to do with backpacking, walking out in the mountains, have to squat down behind a tree. I mean, that, no way, you know. So the second woman in my life, she loved backpacking. She loved everything to do with it, and we went a lot. And then the third woman in my life, she loved camping, but she didn't like getting there, you know. So, but she did like, when we got there, she loved it. So as we were going, you know, my pack would grow from 25, 30, 35 to 40 and 50 pounds, and her pack weighed like 10 pounds. And I heard her complain every mile till we got there, you know. So we tried something else. We tried bicycle camping. And, I went out to REI and bought the panniers and spent a fortune on bicycle stuff. And we really enjoyed that. I mean, the problem with bicycling, you have to pretty much have a road, so you're kind of limited to where you can go. But still, there was enough campgrounds around that we could ride in and be pretty much out in the wilderness and enjoy the mountains. So after she passed, I started backpacking again, and kind of the minimalist. Is that the word? Minimalist. So everything was pretty light, and this was from like 2000 to 2006 or 7 that I packed on my own. And then, unfortunately, I got a thing called spinal stenosis in my neck, and it turned my hands numb. I mean, even today, I can't feel anything in my hands. And then, so I had to start getting epidurals every 4 months. Now, the epidurals never took the numbness away, but as I moved away from the epidural, my hands started to feel kind of like batteries. If you just touch them, you feel little electrical charges running up them. And if you squeeze, like doing exercises or something, the battery just intensified. And then after the battery came the pain. Now the pain was a whole different ball game. Then I'd get another epidural and take it back down to numb, and then as time went by, it would go back to the battery and the pain. Now, the battery and the numbness, I mean, if I'm sitting here not doing anything, I wouldn't know it. It's when you touch things, when you do things, that's when it becomes a problem. But the pain 24 hours a day, it never let you alone. I mean, it was there when you slept, when you woke up. I mean, it was just always nagging you. And I'll tell you what, if you don't have pain, consider yourself lucky. For those that do, they know what I mean. When you're in pain 24 hours a day, it doesn't take long before life is not very fun. I mean, not very fun at all. So I just had to put up with it, And finally, these epidurals started not doing this. It took the pain away, but it didn't take the battery away as much. So my pain management doctor says, well, I'm going to send you to another doctor to see what he thinks, And I thought, well, now it's time for surgery, because they told me before that they weren't going to do surgery until I just really lost all power in my hands. So I thought, well, this is going to be for surgery probably. So I go to the doctor, and he does his things on me, and he says, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to recommend 5 sessions with an acupuncturist. Excuse me? Acupuncturist? I mean, I'm in pain here, Doc. I need help. I don't need acupuncture. What are you going to do? Scrape a little rhinoceros horn or mix in a little bear gallbladder while you're at it? I'm to the point, either fix me or shoot me. So he says, well, give it 5 times. And so I went on it like a Monday or Tuesday or something, and a few days later I went again, and it was relaxing. It didn't hurt or anything, and they put the needles in you, and you relax, and they play soft music, and actually it was kind of enjoyable. But when I left, I really didn't feel any different. And the next session, I was relaxing, and it was kind of nice, And that night I get home, and I'm watching a baseball game. And I mean, the pain used to be that, just lifting your hands up to get a cup out of the cupboard, it just hurt, And so I get home from the second meeting, and that night I'm watching an Angel game. And Mike Trout runs out to center, grabs the wall, jumps up on the wall, and makes a spectacular catch. And I go, yeah, Trout, yeah, that's good. I don't have any pain. My pain's gone. I mean, the battery's there, the numbness is there, but the pain is gone. I mean, hallelujah. So, the moral of that story is, try something before you think it's not going to work, because this acupuncture has done a good job on me. I mean, it's taken the pain away. And, oh man, when you're tired of life and the pain goes, everything changes. Now, when that happened, I was thinking, geez, maybe I could get back to backpacking, because I missed it so much. I haven't backpacked in 10 years. And I was thinking, well, maybe I can give it a try. But even when I was young, the laying on a 3/4 inch, 2-pound thermal rest was not what I called comfortable, And I was thinking, even today, the last few times I went, I just didn't sleep at all. So I was thinking, I don't know, So one time I was on YouTube looking for woodworking things, and they threw up a guy named Shug Emery. He's a backpacker, but he's a little different. He sleeps in a hammock. Now, of all my backpacking, I've never seen anybody sleep in a hammock out in the woods. And a friend of mine that I've gone backpacking with since we were kids, he still backpacks. He's with the San Diego Backpacking Club, and every year he goes, like I used to go. And but he's continued. And I say, Jeff, have you ever seen anybody sleep in a hammock? And he said, never. So I'm looking at these hammocks, and these hammocks look, like they'd be comfortable. Something to be a little better than sleeping on the ground. And I was starting to get into this hammock thing, but, I found out that these banana hammocks that you hang from tree to tree, you got to lay on your back. Now, I'm not a back sleeper at all. I'm a side sleeper and a stomach sleeper. And it's funny that when I lay on my back, my sinuses just clog up. If I lay on my side, they clear up, So that's why I've been a side sleeper, and I just cannot sleep on my back. So I think, that hammock, I don't think it'll work for me. And then I got a suggestion to go over to a place called Amok Hammocks. Now, these hammocks are totally different from any kind of hammock going. And I looked at it, and I said, man, this might be my ticket back into the Sierras or the San Gabriels right up the road. So, I started looking into it, and this thing looks beautiful, but there's 2 problems with it. Number one, it is expensive for this hammock. The hammock and tarp is like $400. And also you have to have a certain kind of air mattress, because this hammock has to have rigidity. And so that's even more money. And then the third part about it is pretty heavy. I usually camped in a one-man tent and a thermal rest, and I think the big 3, which is your bedding, your tent, or your bedding, your shelter, and your backpack. Those are the big 3s. I could get down under 10 pounds with those 3. Well, this hammock is almost 4.5 pounds, and then it's 2 pounds for the pad. That's 6 pounds, and my old Kelty is almost 7 pounds. So, for the big 3, I was looking at, 11, 12, 13 pounds just for those 3 items. And boy, but I started to think, when I was young, 10, 12, 15 mile a day was pretty average. And I was thinking, well, those days you're only going to find in the wonderful part of the memory, because a 10, 12, 15 mile day is going to be out. But if I go 3 or 4 miles, maybe I could carry a little more weight. So I started thinking about this. How can I get back in the Sierras? Will this Amok get me back in the Sierras? So I've decided to give it a shot. Now, for the last couple of years, all my extra money has gone to tools and stuff in my wood shop. I mean, I've saved, and I've got my wood shop not as nice as I'd like it, because space confines me. I mean, my shop is full, and it's to the point I have made an agreement with myself that if anything comes into my shop, something's got to go out. And my house, for that. I've lived in my house for 20 years by myself. I can't believe a family of 4 lived in my house, because right now every closet, every drawer, every cupboard, every shelf is full to the max. So I'm just saying, when something goes in, something's got to go out, and I don't want anything to go out of my shop. My shop, I'd like things to come in, but I just don't have room for it, So there's not too many things I can buy for my shop now. So I was thinking, well, that Amok, maybe I can save and get back in the Sierras, So I've got this feather up myself, and I'm gonna go for it now. I'm not sure it'll work, but I've got to give it a try. I miss the mountains totally, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to pick up one of those Amoks, and I'm going to try to lower my weight on other things, So I've just come to the conclusion that maybe I'll do a little less distance and carry a little more comfort. And I'm not sure I'll be comfortable in that hammock. This is an experiment, and but it's an experiment I'm willing to take. Now, in a couple of months when I get back, or it'll probably be a month or so before I can get out, because I got a lot to get ready. But it might not work. And this new hammock and new sleeping pad and everything may be on eBay before I know it. But I got to give it a try. The mountain's calling me. My fishing rods are calling me. The campfire's calling me. So these next couple of videos, intermingled with woodworking videos, I'm going to try to document this experiment, you might say, to see if I can get back to where I really love, because you can take the boy out of the mountains, but you can never take the mountains out of the boy. So I'm gonna bite my lower lip, and I'm gonna go for it, and we'll see what happens. So I'll show you what the things that I've got to buy some new things. So I'm studying them. I'm checking out the prices at REI and other places, and I'm going to put it together, and I'm going to try to document from here to there, and sleeping in the hammock and coming out and seeing what happens. And I hope to say it worked. I can get back in the mountains to where I belong, and then everything will be great. And if it doesn't, by golly, I tried to get back there. So Anyway, YouTube, that's what this is going to be. So if you're interested on how an old man gets back into well, not an old man, just 64. When I was in high school, Paul McCartney came out with a song, "When I'm 64," and I was thinking in high school, dude, when you're 64, you'll be dead. What do you mean? If you're rocking at 64, I'll be throwing up. And here they are, probably 75 or more, and they're still going strong. So if they can get up there and rock, maybe I can get out there and camp. So stick with me and see where it goes. Thanks a lot, YouTube. We'll see you down the trail.